According to the extraterrestrials. Chapter 5. The Plagues of Egypt.
Nature maintains a delicate balance, where various species coexist harmoniously. But sometimes there are events that drastically transform that balance, and create several disasters, one after another. Like what happened in Egypt in biblical times. What caused the plagues of Egypt of which we find an account in the Bible? Was it really a punishment from God to the Pharaoh and the Egyptians, who mistreated the followers of Moses? What do the extraterrestrials tell us about this? Already in previous chapters we have described the effects of the destroyer comet that caused great problems in the past in our solar system and on Earth, like the Great Flood and other deluges that have occurred. If you want to have information about all these events, you can read the Plagiarin Contact Report number 150, where Quetzal, a Billy Meier's extraterrestrial friend, gives a detailed description. What does the destroyer comet physically look like? Imagine if we could move the Earth far away from the Sun. What would happen? Well, all the oceans would freeze over, and the extreme cold would wipe out life on the planet. And if the Earth, now frozen, travels in an elongated orbit, approaching the Sun, what happens? The ice will melt and then evaporate. And the solar wind will detach part of the Earth's atmosphere, producing the typical tail that comets have. And the destroyer was exactly that, a planet larger than Earth, and in its elongated orbit it behaved like a comet. Comets are usually 10 kilometers in diameter. The destroyer was 16% larger than the Earth. That is, billions of times more massive than a traditional comet. Its last appearance near us was in the year 1680. It was called the Great Comet of 1680, being visible all over the world, as recorded by painters of the time in Europe. Its tail covered the whole sky, and it was so bright that it was possible to see it even during the daytime. Years later, this comet was moved away by the Plagiarin, so that it would not cause any more problems on Earth. The destroyer, in the year 1453 BC, came dangerously close to the Earth. Its proximity activated many volcanoes, such as the Thera volcano in the Mediterranean, known today as Santorini. This volcano erupted and collapsed, causing a tsunami, according to Quetzal, with 180-meter high waves that affected the entire Mediterranean. This created a great disaster that led to an ecological imbalance. The sky was darkened for several days by ash from the volcano, and this was interpreted as one of the plagues. The level of the Nile River rose, and the tsunami killed many animals and people. The water took on a reddish color due to the ashes of the volcano, red algae that developed, and blood from dead animals and dead people. This was another of the plagues. All this led to many toads invading populated areas of Egypt, and then dying in large numbers, generating a large organic waste. Then came plagues of insects. The ashes of the volcano that fell in acid rain caused lacerations in people and livestock, because of its high sulfur content. These were other plagues described in the Bible. All this was taken as a punishment from God, not as a natural disaster. And what caused the death of the firstborn? The Egyptian priests, in their religious madness, proclaimed that their God ordered them to make human sacrifices, to correct the blasphemous way of life of the Egyptians. They ordered the death of the firstborn. Some of the priests executed that order, going house to house. And even some parents or members of each family, in their religious fanaticism, did the same. Some natural phenomena are sometimes interpreted as divine punishment. However, they are just events that happen, leading to natural consequences, sometimes unpleasant. Nature moves between balance and imbalance. Will the damage we are causing lead to an imbalance? We are impacting and hurting our planet, the nature, the flora, the fauna, the environment, mainly due to our growing overpopulation and human desire for power. What will we do to avoid this imbalance, and how will we choose to live, so we can once again create a harmonious paradise in our beautiful planet?